Stone and now goes. Plays it right wide. Drops it back there. Caught.
Welcome to SENS Talk. My name is Brandon. I'm your host. Last time we left off, the Senators were playing against the Montreal Canadiens. They did end up losing the game 2-0. Empty netter at the last third second. And the Senators lost the series. They should have won though, as Jean-Gabriel Pageau did put a puck in the back of the net. They did not. They waved it off. Didn't count. But let's not talk about that because every single one of you already know about that. Let's talk about the offseason as the Chicago Blackhawks are your 2015 Stanley Cup champions. They are declared dynasty. Lots of things to talk about. The Senators have made some very big signings. There's a trade that just happened today. The draft is tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Sportsnet if you're in America and BC. So let me get started with some signings we did. Let me get here. Very sorry. Just gotta make sure I don't get anything wrong. So let's go all the way back. All the way back to a while ago. So, have you probably heard the Hamburglar Andrew Hammond signed a 3-year contract with us to stay in Ottawa. Also, the Senators also signed Matt O'Connor a little while ago, the very highly thought after goaltender from Boston University or Boston College. They're both similar. Sorry, I don't really know. And he's going to expected to play backup starting goalie in Binghamton. So 3 years for Andrew Hammond. The Senators agreed to terms to defenseman Frederick Claesson to 1-year, 2-way contract extension. Unfortunately, Chris Weidman, the very, very high prospect for the Senators, will not be signing again with the Senators. There's three more days until July 1st, and he will go through free agency what he can get. The Senators signed forward Tobias Lindberg. As you heard, he was very good for the Oshawa Generals as they won the Memorial Cup. The Ottawa Senators 8-game preseason schedule is released. Put that in the link below. Senators full season schedule is on the Senators website, ottawasenators.com. And also the home opener will be against the Canadiens, and the season opener will be against the Buffalo Sabres. We've got more things to talk about the Buffalo Sabres in a few minutes. Senators signed forward Jean-Gabriel Pageau to a 2-year contract extension. Let me show you the disclosed information. Average annual value of contract is $900,000, so that's pretty good for him. The Senators, 3 players from the Senators roster were nominated for awards at the NHL Awards. So Bill Masterton Trophy was awarded to Devin Dubnyk, but the nominees, second place was Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglar, and third place was Chris Letang. The Calder Trophy was given out by Daniel Alfredsson, Alfie. Aaron Ekblad of the Florida Panthers won that. Nominees, runner-up was Mark Stone, less than 100 votes away, and then Johnny Gaudreau. And then the Norris, here's a win. Erik Karlsson clearly won the Norris. He was definitely the best defenseman in the league, if not one of the best, and if not the best. Shea Weber also, obviously, I don't know how he wasn't nominated. Mark Giordano played the whole season. Maybe he would have maybe won it or close to Karlsson. I can't say. But Karlsson definitely deserved it this year, so he won it. The Senators agreed to terms with Mika Zibanejad on a 2-year contract extension. The value of the contract is $2.625 million, so that's pretty good for him. It's 2 more years for him. Senators 2015-16 regular season schedule is announced. You can check that at ottawasenators.com, as I said. Senators agreed to terms with forward Mark Stone on a 3-year contract extension. All of this news besides Jean-Gabriel Pageau came from the 24th to the 27th. So in 3 days, there's been lots of signings. The Senators have been the most active team lately. News release. Here, the Senators have traded a goaltender. Yes, the Senators have traded a goaltender. Let me tell you it right now. The Senators have traded Robin Lehner. Yes, obviously, as a lot of people were speculating. And David Legwand, so they got rid of a bad contract, which is $3 million a year, so free up some cap space. For a 21st overall draft pick in the 2015 NHL draft. So now the Senators have 18th, 21st, 41st, and 48th draft picks in the top 2 rounds, like first and second round. So, and since this draft is very, very high, is very deep depth. Like in the top 2 rounds, you get a very, very good player. Like a lot of people are speculating. Obviously, Connor McDavid will go first overall to the Oilers, which were also interested in Robin Lehner and Craig Anderson. And Brian Murray wanted to trade him, one of those goaltenders, most likely Lehner, to Edmonton, but the deal just wasn't good enough. What else? As I was saying, so we traded him to Buffalo. Hopefully he won't turn out like Ben Bishop trade, as we traded a player from our division. The draft is tonight at 7 p.m. You should watch that. Legwand, of course, we had to get rid of him. He was a piece. He was decent this year, but he had a very high cap hit, and we just couldn't have that. And we're a budget team, as you know, so we needed to get rid of that. So the only way we could have, also with Colin Greening, was by giving up his full contract status to another team. So Buffalo took him for some leadership for their young core. Robin Lehner they can wait for to become a prime player in the next 10 years maybe. And the 21st overall pick, an 18th overall pick in the first round. That should be something very, very special. On Twitter at SENS1992, we will have live tweeting, as you know. It's been very active for the Sounders lately. Lots to talk about. I'll have a video up tomorrow after the rounds 2 to 7 is up. I'll talk about the draft and what could go on in the free agency. One more thing. Sounders are not done trading yet, as there are some reports that the Sounders could give up their 18th and 21st overall picks of the 2015 NHL draft as they've been interested for a few years. Ryan O'Reilly and they're looking for a young defenseman. The Colorado Avalanche are looking for a young defenseman, and we have a few. We have Jared Cowden, which we do not want anymore, and we could give him up for Ryan O'Reilly. Maybe give a draft pick. Maybe get Colin Greening in there, and then we free up some cap space right there. Sign O'Reilly to a bigger deal, and then with him and our young core, we could go somewhere. We're definitely a Stanley Cup playoff contender team, and in the next 5-10 years, I think we will be a contender for the Stanley Cup. The reason why we traded Robin Lehner, some people, Buffalo Sabre fans and Ottawa Senators fans, are really saying, "Oh, this is a bad deal. This is a horrible deal." I consider this actually a steal or a very, very good hockey trade for the Ottawa Senators. We have Matt O'Connor. Remember, we have Andrew Hammond. Andrew Hammond shows huge potential. There's no fit for Robin Lehner anymore. Remember, we also have Dredger and Hogberg, also in Binghamton and Evansville. So we're already locked up in the goaltender department. We don't need Robin Lehner, who has been inconsistent in the 86 games he's been playing this year. And his save percentage last year was like 905, and he had his 3.02 goals against average. I remember almost every single game last season he allowed at least 3 to 4 goals, which is obviously an average. Not good enough for a team that wants to go to the playoffs every single year and be a contender for the Stanley Cup. We can't have a backup that way. We'll ride out Craig Anderson until we trade him or he retires. Right now, he's just going to keep us. He's going to lead us to glory or a playoff berth. With Andrew Hammond in the background, with him playing very strong, hopefully, and Matt O'Connor eventually will be called up, and Craig Anderson will either be traded or retired. Lots of news. And if you're watching this right now, you have to understand why I'm saying this. There's just no fit for Robin Lehner anymore, and we gave him a few years. He did win the Calder Trophy in 2011 with the Binghamton Senators, but there's just no fit for him anymore, and we waited too long, and he just didn't fit. So hopefully, I wish him and David Legwand, Robin Lehner and David Legwand, a very, very successful time in Buffalo. Not too successful to kick us out of the playoffs or win the Stanley Cup or anything, but successful enough to have a good enough career and be recognized as a decent player, because let's be honest, the Buffalo Sabres are not exactly the best team in the league, as they will be drafting Eichel though. But there's some speculation who the Senators will draft. They may not even draft in the first round. It may be traded. Is there a trade right now? I don't know. Oh, well, there's actually some news from the Sounders right now. I could get this for you. They're doing on Twitter like a bunch of prospects. Here's another prospect. It would be the prospect here was Zach Werenski. It's the final prospect in the file. It could probably go around like 7th round if it's the last one. But there's some speculation like there's a few Swedish defensemen for Erik Karlsson, maybe. They want the next Erik Karlsson, so they're going to be looking for that. They want the next Karlsson. They want... there's Travis Konechny, the Ottawa 67's captain, that will be in the draft too. We could take him too, 18th or 21st overall, if we still have the picks by tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a fun time to be a Sounders fan. I will not be available at June 28th. June 28th, the Twitter account will either be updated every night, not during the day, or not updated at all. So please don't unfollow. We will send you some links there to go and keep update with the Sounders news, but you may not get it from there. Just don't unfollow it. Don't worry. I will tweet with that, and in the next video I'll try to clarify that for you. I'll have a video up tomorrow talking about what could happen in free agency, and of course with Ryan O'Reilly. Keep an eye on there. Go to Twitter. Keep on track of what's going on with Bruce Garrioch. He's the one that guessed the trade that actually happened. There's some TSN Bob McKenzie there. There's some very, very good what do you call it again? Including me, very good analysts out there. And you should definitely keep on checking until June 28th, when the draft is over, to see. And on July 1st, the free agency, lots of stuff will happen. Mike Hoffman is not near a contract yet, so he will most likely either be traded if we trade again, or will go into restricted free agency. I don't think he's a restricted free agent, and either arbitration or he will sign with another team after July 1st. That's all the news I can give you right now. So follow us on Twitter at SensTalk1992. Like us on Facebook at SensTalk. Add us to your circles and Google Plus at SensTalk. Like this video. Share this video on any cool social media you got. Click the big red button down there and subscribe to us. We have lots of breaking news up for you guys on Twitter at SensTalk1992. So keep on checking there. We will respond to your questions if you got any. Nothing else to talk to besides I'll see you tomorrow. So this is me, Brandon Plant. I will see you tomorrow, and let's see who the Sounders draft, or will they trade for maybe Ryan O'Reilly. I'll see you then. Go Suns, go.